Okay, my name is Margarita Mironova, if anyone didn't meet me before. I'm working for the Curious UK. I'm a consultant and Microsoft certified trainer. Have experience 4.5 years with Microsoft Dynamics products. Today's session we will start with the Trade and Logistics 1, and we will talk through the introduction, and then sales and purchase orders, and then sales quotation. So these are 3 chapters in your manuals. So we will start with definitions of logistics, inventory, and inventory management. Logistics is the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient and cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials in process inventory, finished goods, and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption for the purpose of meeting customer requirements. Therefore, trade and logistics will cover the purchase, sales, inventory, movement, valuation, and reporting of all goods, activities used in buying, selling, and storing items. Inventory is the material and supplies that a business carries for sale or for use in production. Inventory includes raw materials and supplies, goods in production, sub-assemblies, finished goods ready for sale. In Microsoft Dynamics AX, inventory information is linked to accounts receivable, accounts payable, materials and resource planning, human resources, projects, and general ledger. Inventory management is the planning and control of inventory from its raw material state to the customer. Inventory must be considered at every planning level and at the aggregate and item level. In Microsoft Dynamics AX, inventory management recognizes both physical and financial inventory. So the objectives for this part of our session for the first hour will be purchase orders and sales orders. So we will create a purchase order using both the simple and advanced view, identify and apply the different purchase order types, create a sales order using the simple and advanced views, identify and apply the different sales order types, set up accounts payable, purchase order parameters, and set up accounts receivable sales order parameters. Specify alternative receipt address for purchase order line. Specify multiple delivery addresses for a sales order and sales order lines. Copy an address into the address book. Set up the delivery date control system. Use the delivery date control system to find the earliest possible delivery date for sales order. Create an order of the type direct delivery and update the order. We will first cover purchases and then sales. The functionalities of 2 are very similar. So when we cover sales, there'll be some difference anyway. So we'll go through them. So purchase order, simple view. The purchase order form opens by default in the simple view and shows the last purchase order created. The simple view only shows the user one purchase order at a time. If other purchase orders exist, it displays the last order entered, assuming sequential purchase order numbers are being used. Use the simple view in the following situations. When you have to quickly and simply enter information about a single purchase order, when the user does not have to use the functionality that is available in the advanced view. To navigate through the purchase order in the simple view, I'll show you how to do that in Dynamics AX. So we are in the purchase ledger or accounts payable, and if I will go to the purchase orders, I have advanced here, sorry. This is the currently on the screen is the simple order view. If you will want to navigate through the purchase orders, you can use the arrows on the top of your tool menu. So you have arrows, so you can just move to the previous order or to the next order. It will display the information. So now I will try to create a new purchase order in Microsoft Dynamics. To create a new purchase order, you will need to make sure that your cursor on the top part of the window, and then click the Create New button that's on the top left corner on your screen, and it's like a blank sheet button. So if you will click it. Also, you can use the Control and keys on your keyboard to create a new order. So to create a new order, you need to select the vendor account you would like to create the purchase order with. Now, also, if you don't have the vendor account currently in the system and it is one-time supplier, you can check the checkbox one-time supplier, and Acceptor will create automatically or default one-time supplier without any information. So I will create the purchase order for my AdventureWorks. When you select the vendor account in the on this form, create purchase order form, the Microsoft Dynamics will usually ask you if you want to transfer all the vendor information to your current purchase order. This vendor information is usually stored in the vendors form in the vendors table. So I would like to transfer all my information, and we'll click Yes button. So as you can see, the contact information, name of the company, delivery address, invoice account, and name was transferred from the vendor account information. Also, the currency, default currency for this vendor was transferred as well. Also, you can see that the delivery address, so if you expand the delivery address group, you will see that you can modify the delivery address if you wish. And on the administration side, the administration information like buyer group or orderer or pool will be substituted automatically if it exists on the vendor information. So I'm happy with my details of my vendor. Everything is correct and right, and I will click OK. When I click OK, Dynamics AX sets up automatically the purchase order. So you see our purchase order is created. The second step for the purchase order, very important, we have to add items that are included in this purchase order. So to create items, you have to make sure that you move your mouse cursor to the bottom window of this form, and again click Create New button or click Control and buttons. So I will remind you again, the Create New button is on the left corner of your Tools menu. So I will create New. The new line will appear, and we have to select the item, select or type the item number we want to include in our purchase order. So I will now select BR14, and you can see the information that is attached to this item number by default was substituted in the lines. So it depends on your setup, but currently we have warehouse, unit price for this item, and net amount plus description. So so we created the purchase order in Dynamics AX. I will move into my presentation, and if you remember from the purchase order, you have the set of buttons on the right side of the form. So what do these buttons mean? The simple view in purchase order does not display all available fields and tab pages. This applies to the menu and function buttons on the purchase order also. So 4 buttons are available in the simple view, the advanced posting, inquiries, and create lines. Advanced. Change view to the advanced view of the purchase order form. Posting. Print or post the documents available. Inquiries. View totals, cash flow forecasts, receipt list, packing slip and invoices. By selecting the attached purchase order submenu item from a purchase order of the type blanket order, you can also view attached release purchase orders. And the last one is create lines. Open the create lines dialog box to quickly create multiple purchase orders lines for the purchase order. So it's for the mass creation of the lines. So if I will go back to my purchase order, and if I will click the Create Lines button, in the new form, Create Lines will appear where I can select what items I want to include in my purchase order. So I can do 2 items, so the purchase quantity, I can select how many items of what type I would like to select. So let's say BR12 and BR6, I will have 5 items. So when we selected the quantity, I could click the Create button, and you can see my lines were added automatically to my purchase order. Purchase order advanced view. You use the same steps for creating a purchase order when using the advanced view on the purchase order as with the simple view. The difference between the 2 views is how much information and functionality the user has access to. Much of this additional functionality is explained, will be explained in the later chapters and later courses of Trade and Logistics 1 and Trade and Logistics 2. One of the principal differences between the 2 purchase order views is the variety of functions you can access by using the buttons in the advanced view. So as you can see in purchase order advanced view, we have buttons for the header, whereas the functions for the whole purchase order applies, and the buttons for the lines as well. So for every the properties for every line. Also, in the advanced view, on the top window, you can see the whole list of the purchase orders that exist in the system. So if you want to see the content of the purchase order, you can just highlight the purchase order in question, and it will display the lines and content on the bottom window of the form. So if I will switch back to my Dynamics, and you see we created our purchase order, and now we are in the simple view, and if I will click button advanced view, we change to the advanced view, and you can see how many purchase orders we already have in the system in the top form, in the top window. So I can switch between purchase orders, and when I'm switching between them, you can see the list of items every purchase order contains. So I will go back to my original, to my new purchase order, and we will talk about the buttons that belong to the purchase order as a whole. It's top buttons of the top window, and buttons that belong to the lines and show the properties of the lines on for the bottom window of this form. So the purchase order advanced view buttons for the header. So advanced or simple toggles between the two views. Posting, print or post the document available. Setup, add or view additional order information from this button. Set up and allocate miscellaneous charges, specify sales tax and payment schedule settings, link to planned purchase order forms, add contact persons for the purchase order over and above those specified for the vendor, set up print management settings, learn about print management and specify whether summary updates can be specified for the purchase order. Functions. Copy from order journals and create credit notes and perform open transactions editing, create release order and other functions. Inquiries, view totals, cash flows, forecast, receipt list, packing slip and invoices. Trade agreements, maintain or view trade agreements, prices and discounts. So if I will switch back to my Dynamics IX, you can see all the functions in the buttons that we just discussed. Sorry. The lines buttons are the setup for the lines. You can specify an alternative delivery address for a specific warehouse and specify miscellaneous charges and sales tax settings. Function button. In addition to the functions that are also available on the header, you can also access the following. Explode an item of the bills of material into its component items. Use delivery remainder function to update back orders. And next is inquiries. Access the net requirement and explosion functionality. Calculation, calculate multi-line and total discount or supplementary items. And inventory, view inventory transactions and on-hand inventory. You can also reserve and register items from this sub-menu. Purchase orders types. When you create a new purchase order, Microsoft Dynamics IX gives you several options on the Create Purchase Order form. These are 6 purchase order types to select from depending on the process or action the user requires. These are journal, quotation, subscription, purchase order, returned item, and blanket order. The purchase order types, if I will switch back to my Dynamics, you can select in the purchase order type field. You can change it if the purchase order has a status open order. So you can select the type in the purchase order type. Also, when you create a new purchase order, so I will create for you just a new purchase order for you. Transfer my details. In the creation of purchase order form, you can select the purchase order type as well. So you can see the list of all my types: journal, quotation, subscription, purchase order, returned item, and blanket order. I'll cancel my creation. Go back to PowerPoint. So journal, the first purchase order type is the journal. This type is used as a draft. It does not affect stock quantities and does not generate any item transactions, and the quantity on the order line will not be considered in the master scheduler. For example, a purchase order of the type journal can be used when importing data by batch. In this manner, the purchase order can be reviewed and evaluated without affecting inventory, on order, or other numbers. So if I will go back again to my Dynamics IX and change my current purchase order to the journal type and go to the posting, you can see that I can't post this purchase order type journal. They are grayed out and I can't perform any operation. Sorry. Quotation. This kind of purchase order is used if the vendor has not yet committed to fulfilling the order, if the company has not confirmed the purchase order. Quotation type generates an issue lot with the type quotation in the inventory and optionally in the master scheduler. Generating an issue lot means that Microsoft Dynamics IX creates a lot ID for the specified quantity, which enables the users to see the supply that is being considered for purchase and this specific item. Unlike the journal type, the quotation makes an entry in the inventory transactions table. Making this transaction is what enables Microsoft Dynamics IX to use this information for master scheduling purposes. Subscription. This kind of purchase order is used for repeated purchases of the same goods or services. When the packing slip is updated, Microsoft Dynamics IX generates a receipt. When the invoice is updated for the receipt, a new packing slip or invoice entry can be updated for the same purchase line immediately or at some future date. The order will never be at an invoice status, only open or received. For example, an example of a recurring order would be a fee for monthly delivery of bulbs. In this situation, for example, Global Trade and Manufacturing Company purchases a quantity of bulbs every month with monthly deliveries and billings. When the order is invoiced, the order status is automatically set to open order. The quantity delivered is invoiced and the delivery remainder is updated. Next status is purchase order. Next type of order is purchase order. This type is used when the vendor confirms they can fill the order. When you create a new order, the type can be set to default to purchase order type in the parameters form, depending on the client's business process. Returned item. This type is used when you return goods to the vendor. A return merchandise authorization number supplied by the vendor is required when entering this kind of order. So, for example, you create a purchase order for 100 pieces of S-shade item color blue, but the supplier sent 100 pieces of color white. The purchaser contacts the vendor, requests a return merchandise authorization number, and uses the purchase type return item to track the return. This purchase type can also be used to return damaged or otherwise defect goods to the supplier. And the last type of purchaser order is the blanket order. It's used to order from an existing contract with a vendor. Blanket order, this kind of purchase order is used if there is a contract with vendor and you want to order from the contract. Typically, a company uses blanket order to receive better pricing conditions as the blanket order quantity is bigger than on a single purchase order. You can create a release order to release order and invoice items until the contract is fulfilled. Blanket orders do not affect stock quantities, do not generate item transactions, and are not included in the master scheduling. Release orders issued from blanket orders do affect all mentioned above. For example, a company wants to purchase 2,000 pieces of item CL. However, because of storage and capital limitations, the company wants the items delivered as needed. In this situation, the company contacts the supplier and requests 20 pieces on Monday, 20 pieces on Wednesday, and on the following Monday an additional 20 pieces. At this point, 19,040 pieces remain on the open purchase order. Every time that the company orders against this purchase order, the remaining quantity is decreased until all 2,000 pieces have been delivered. So let's create our blanket order and see how does it work in Microsoft Dynamics AX. I'll go back to the Dynamics AX, and I will create a new purchase order for our AdventureWorks. We'll transfer all details and select purchase order type blanket order. Click OK, and I will order. Move to the lines. And I will create a new line by clicking Control N or New Item, and create a new line for my item CL. Will be CL100B, and I would like to order 2,000 pieces. So we created, and let's check posting. As you can see, you can post the purchase order only for the blanket order. Oh, sorry. So to create release orders from current blanket order, we go to the functions and create release order. If you remember from our example, we want to buy to receive 20 items on Monday, 20 items on Wednesday, and another 20 items on the following. So first release order we will do for the this Monday. So we'll need to select the lot ID. Item number is substituted automatically, and we want 20 items. So I will click OK. So released order, purchase order was automatically created, and as you can see, the released order with type purchase order was automatically created, and on the blanket order reference you can see to which blanket order it belongs. So it's our 20 pieces. Everything was transferred, all the information was transferred from the blanket order. If I will move back to the blanket order and go to the quantity tab, you can see that our 20 pieces were deducted for the total quantity of the blanket order, and now the delivery remainder is 1980 pieces. So 1980, and so on. We can create the release orders until we will finish our contract or finish our blanket order. So at the end of this section in manual, on page 36, you can find labs that I would like to ask you to do before the next session next week. It's very important, so you could exercise. Let's go back to my slideshow. So again, if we will go through this slide, we create the blanket order, purchase order type blanket order for 2,000 pieces, and we want 20 pieces to receive now, and we create the release order that will be the purchase order with the 20, and Dynamics extracts these 20 pieces from the blanket purchase order. Sales orders simple view. The reason you use the simple and advanced views in the sales order form are the same as for the purchase order form. Users of the simple view generally do not have to view the information that is available from the advanced view, or do not have to have access the advanced view functionality. At the same time, when you use the advanced view, the user can obtain a broad view of all sales orders, can perform multiple updates, and can access advanced features such as trade agreements and miscellaneous charges functionality. So the functionality of creation of new sales order is exactly the same as for the purchase order, only in the sales ledger module. So if I will move back to my Dynamics AX, I will go to my sales ledger, or in English, accounts receivable, and open the sales order. So again, we are in the advanced view, and if I will move is the simple view, and exactly the same functionality as and view as in purchase orders. So if I will move to my presentation, so this view is the advanced sales order view, and again, you saw it, I just showed you on the Dynamics AX. I'm sorry. So to create the sales order, the process of creating basic sales orders is the same as creating basic purchase orders, except that purchase orders are used to generate receipts of items, and sales orders are used for making item issues. So let's go back to our Dynamics AX, and I will go to, I will not show you creation in the advanced view, or in the simple view, sorry. I will move to the advanced view, and we'll create a new sales order. Again, on the top window of the form, you can see the list of all companies' sales orders. To create new, I'll just click Create New. Select my customer account. Again, Dynamics AX asks if I want to transfer information from the customer. The information like addresses and invoice account and contact information. So I say OK, and I'm happy with all the information. Also, I can check the requested receipt date and ship date. If customer is not happy, I can move this ship date or change it. So if I will click OK, my sales order is created, and now I have to attach items to the sales order. So I'm moving to the bottom screen, and again, create new, click Ctrl N, and select the item number my customer wants to purchase, and select all the details for this specific item. Sales order types. Create a sales order in Microsoft Dynamics AX. When you're creating the sales order in Microsoft Dynamics AX, you can select from one of several sales order types. journal, subscription, sales order, returned item, blanket order, and item requirements. Again, the same as in purchase orders. I'll switch back to the dynamics. The sales order type you can choose in this order type field. Journal, subscription, sales order, returned item, blanket order, and item requirements. And when I'm creating a new sales order, you can see you can select the sales order in the creation creation form as well. So I will cancel it. So what these types, sales order types, mean? Journal. Sales orders of the type journal resembles purchase orders of type journal because they are also used as types of draft sales orders. Journals help when bringing data into the system that may not meet quality or other standards, as can be the case with data loads or data keyed by a new temporary worker. A sales order of type journal does not affect stock quantities and does not generate item transactions, nor will the quantity on the order line be considered in the master scheduling. Subscription. This kind of sales order is used for repeated sales of the same goods or services to the same customer. When a packing slip is updated, Microsoft Dynamics AX generates a packing slip. When the invoice is updated, a new packing slip or invoice entry can be updated for the same sales line. The order never has an invoice status, only opened or delivered. Example, the Light and Design company have a standard order to buy 100 of our item CL lamps from the Global Trade and Manufacturing Company. The order taker creates a sales order of type subscription for Light and Design and creates a line for 100 pieces of CL lamps. Each month the subscription is invoice updated. The goods are delivered to the customer and the customer is billing for the standard quantity of 100 pieces. The sales order remains at the status open order, but transactions are created for the sales order line. Next status is sales order type. Sales order type. This kind of sales order is used when the customer confirms that they want the order. When you create a new order, the type can be set to default to sales order type in the parameters form depending on the client's business process. Return item type. This kind of sales order is used when receiving goods back from a customer. A return item number is required for this kind of order and can automatically be assigned by Microsoft Dynamics AX using number sequences or set up manually. The returned items topic will be discussed more in Trade and Logistics 2 course. Next type is item requirements. The sales order type of item requirements is connected to the Microsoft Dynamics AX project module. When you create your item requirements in the project module, you create a sales order of the type item requirements. The item requirement sales order will be discussed more in the other section of the project accounting. And the last is blanket order. A sales blanket order a sales blanket order works the same as for purchase order concepts. So the order is made with a customer for whom you periodically generate release sales orders. So it's the same way, only you have customer for whom you periodically generate the sales orders. At the end of this section, on the page 41 in your manuals, you can find the labs and exercises that I would like to ask you to do before the next session next week. And we didn't cover the purchase and sales parameters. So in the accounts receivable and accounts payable parameters, you can create default settings that are used by the purchase order and sales order respectively. So I will move to the Microsoft Dynamics and will show you the parameters. As we are in the sales ledger currently, I will show you the sales ledger parameters that you can find in the setup folder and parameters form. And there is, in this form you can find the all parameters that you can set up for the whole sales ledger module. But we will discuss currently we will discuss only 3, as other parameters will be discussed further in the course. So the parameter is order type sales order. So this is in this field you select the default value for the order type. So when you create the sales order, it automatically substitutes the order type in the field. So if you remember when we're creating, it shows the default is sales order, but you can change, and Dynamics will use any of the selected. Also, you can set up default one-time customer account in this field, and every time you create and tick the one-time customer account, this account will be used by default. And also another parameter is prompt for the customer information. If you remember, when we are creating the sales order, Dynamics X asks us if we want to transfer information from our customer to the sales order, and we select yes or not. So this checkbox activates this function. It is very similar for the purchase orders, and if we'll go to the purchase ledger, go to the setup button and to the parameters form, you can see it's very similar. The default values for the purchase order type. So we have currently purchase order. One-time vendor account we have selected. When we're creating the one-time the purchase order for the one-time vendor, it will automatically substitute this vendor account. And prompt when specifying vendor and invoice account, Dynamics AX will ask us if we want to transfer the information if this checkbox is selected. So at the end of this section of the parameters, you can find again the exercises on page 45 and 46 of your manuals that you will need to do before the next session. We'll move back to my slides. Next is multiple shift to problem. So what is multiple shift to? Extending sales purchase orders to contain one address per line. Possibility to select alternative delivery address for wholesale order on header. Automatically selecting the best address for the delivery. What is the business pain? Sending an order to different addresses. Today, Dynamics AX can only have one address on the order. The address is not taken from the logical place, for example, the receipt warehouse for a purchase order. What is the resolution for our multiple ship to problem? New alternative address selection form available from purchase order line sales order header sales order lines. The option to print the shipment receipt documents either by address or for the order. Possibility to manually enter address on the order header and lines. Option to save addresses from order to address book. So the multiple ship to functionality enables users to specify delivery address per order line instead of only according to the order header. It was the case in previous versions of Dynamics AX. Use the multiple ship to functionality too. Specify multiple receipt addresses for purchase orders and multiple customer delivery addresses on sales orders. Copy addresses that are manually entered on the sales order into the alternative addresses table for reuse later. Select whether purchase and sales order documents are printed per delivery address or per order. So at the end of this section, you can find the exercises on page 54 in the book that will have to be done before next session as well. It will help you. Next problem is enhanced delivery date control, and the problem is the what is the enhanced delivery date control? Enhanced delivery date control extend Microsoft Dynamics AX date model applied during sales order entry, release from blanket order item requirements from projects and quotations. What is the pain? In Microsoft Dynamics AX, giving realistic delivery dates during sales order entry is a manual process without much system support. It requires a lot of sales order process knowledge and supporting paper calendars on the order processor's desk. Giving realistic delivery dates is possible with enhanced delivery date control. How to resolve? Add multiple delivery dates to sales order and sales order line. It will enable tracking of delivery performance and calculation of relevant delivery key performance indicators. Set up 3 calendars. Set up of transport calendar based on mode of delivery carrier and shipping warehouse to calculate the transport lead time from a point of origin to a point of destination. Setup of customer receiving calendar. Setup of warehouse calendar, ensuring that orders are shipped and delivered at customers within opening days at warehouses. We continue the resolution. Set up of delivery order time slots, ensuring that internal lead time is extended so that orders entered after certain times are handled as if they are processed the subsequent day. User is automatically warned during the order entry if request delivery date cannot be met. This includes comprehensive messaging on the reason for not meeting the requested date. User is giving flexible simulation what-if possibilities during order entry. What will the consequence be if another shipping warehouse or mode of delivery carrier is selected? So enhanced delivery date control function is primarily about giving realistic and complete delivery promises to a customer during sales order entry and significantly shortening the sales order entry time. Enhanced delivery date control supports the user in their daily work and takes the complexity out of giving realistic delivery dates. The user may take orders, and Microsoft Dynamics AX checks whether the request delivery date for the customer can be met from a shipping perspective. If a requested delivery date cannot be met, the user is provided with a user-friendly simulation possibilities, helping them find a resolution to the requested delivery date problem. You can also use the delivery date control function together with transfer orders, where the delivery date control is used to calculate earliest possible ship and receive dates for the transfer order lines. To enable delivery date control functionality, you can select the delivery date control in accounts receivable module. So if I will move back to my accounts receivable, and we'll go to the parameters, and in the shipment we have the checkbox delivery date control, where we can select it. If direct delivery control is not selected in accounts receivable parameters, you can enable this function at various points in the sales order creation process. So if I will close the parameters and go back to my sales orders, so when you are creating the sales order, let me create a new sales order. You can see in this form we have delivery date control. You can check this function, cancel. Also, you can see this checkbox in the sales order header in the delivery, on the delivery tab. You have delivery date control function, and also on the line, so you can specify on the line in the setup tab. So delivery date control checkbox you can see here. And also on create release orders. Go back to my presentation. And on this slide you can see factors in date calculation that affect the date calculation for the sales order. So the factors in the following slide show the earliest possible delivery date, determine the earliest possible delivery date to the customer when you use the delivery date control functionality. It is on the basis of these various lead times, transport times, and calendars that Microsoft Dynamics AX calculates the earliest possible delivery date for a sales order. Let's have a look at these different factors and parameters. So, sales order lead time. Sales lead time is the number of days you use on all the activities from receiving the sales order to shipping it out to, of the company. These activities could, for example, include the following: sales administration tasks, conducting checks on items before shipping them, warehouse administration. The sales lead time is a default value for all items that you sell from your company. However, remember that the sales lead time on individual items overrides the sales lead time. You can define sales order lead times in, I will show you in accounts receivable, setup, again, and the parameters. On the shipment tab, you can see the sales lead time. Oh, sorry. Yes, sales lead time, and you can specify number in days. So, for example, 2 days. So, as an example, the administration time for all sales orders at global trade and manufacturing company is 2 days. This is therefore set up as default sales lead time for all orders will be the 2 days. If on sales order entry you try to specify a requested shipping date that falls before the first possible date, considering the sales order lead time, you are warned and asked to find another available date for delivery. Next factor is coverage calendar. So the coverage calendar for the warehouse is set up per warehouse. In the coverage calendar, you can set up open and close days for the warehouse. If the requested shipping date falls on a closed day, then the next open day is used for the request shipping day. If you do not set up a coverage calendar, the open and close days for the company are defined in the company information form in the shipping calendar. Order deadlines. The order deadline determines the cutoff time after which orders are shipped 1 day later. Set the order deadlines by clicking Account Receivable in the Dynamics X, Setup and Parameters, and you have the order deadline file group where you can set up order deadlines for every day in a week. For example, the order deadline is set up for, in our case, 1 o'clock on Wednesday, and the sales order is entered at 1:30 on Wednesday. Therefore, the earliest request shipping date is Thursday the next day, presuming this is an open day. Transport times. Our transport times. You can set up transport time between a warehouse in your company and the company address. To set it up, you can use the inventory management module. So we move to our stock management or inventory management module. And it's in the setup folder, distribution, and transport. So in this form, you can set up the transport times for different countries and different warehouses. Also, the transport calendar is used. So the calendar contains 3 different statuses. Open, the first status is open. The mode of delivery is open for pickup and delivery. Closed, the mode of delivery is closed for pickup and delivery, and closed for pickup. This means that the carrier can operate on an open day but does not make pickups from warehouse on that day. This is an important feature as many carriers operate 7 days a week but may only pick up items to be delivered on the certain days of the week. So transport calendar you can set up in the accounts receivable. I'll go back to my accounts receivable or sales ledger, and setup folder, distribution, mode of delivery. So we have different modes of delivery, and if I will select, for example, mode of delivery air transport, I can select the transport calendar and select for which warehouse I would like it to use. Go back to our slides. Next factor is custom receipt calendar. Use this calendar to specify the opening days for the customer. You cannot specify that a receipt date falls on a close date in the customer receipt calendar. If no receipt calendar is specified for the customer, all days are open days at the customer. To specify a customer receipt calendar, you can go to the accounts receivable and customer form. So I'll go to the accounts receivable. or sales ledger. And on the customer form, on the setup tab, you can see the you can see the field receipt calendar, where you can select for the customer the specific calendar. So you can also set up receipt calendar for the alternative delivery address for the specific customer. So we finished with the with this part, the enhanced delivery date control, and you can find the exercises on the page 66 and test your knowledge questions on page 65 in your manuals. And now we will move to the next section, and this is direct delivery problem. So what is direct delivery problem? It's the possibility to generate a purchase order that is shipped directly to the customer. Update is synchronized between the orders and works with multiple addresses on the orders. What is the business pain? Some items are normally shipped directly to the end customer without matching the orders. What is the problem resolution? Addresses from the sales order copied to the purchase order, and the system automatically updates sales order as the purchase order progresses. For example, the sales order is updated to the status delivered when the purchase order is invoiced. So let's have a look at the direct delivery workflow. Microsoft Dynamics AX supports direct delivery to customers. With direct delivery, sales orders are delivered directly from the vendor to the customer without physically entering your company's inventory. The direct delivery functionality in Microsoft Dynamics AX has the following advantages over the traditional non-direct delivery distribution supply chain. They are reduced time from when you create sales order to the delivery to the customer. No inventory carrying, labor cost as the item never physically enters inventory. Reduced transportation cost as the item goes directly from the vendor to the customer. Reduced administration time and less margin for order entry error as purchase orders are directly created from the sales order, and there is a single point for updating delivery receipts of orders. So the current slide shows the process flow in a direct delivery sales order from the initial call from the customer through the final invoicing of the sales order. So let's go through the steps. First, customer orders the item, and we record it in our company. Order taker creates the sales order, so we created the sales order, and then create the purchase order of the type direct delivery. So purchase order is created automatically. So vendor delivers direct to the customer, and vendor notifies company of the delivery. After that, order taker updates purchase order, so purchase order is updated, and automatic update of sales order with delivered company is recorded. As soon as quantity is delivered to customer, sales order opened for customer invoice, and we are invoicing the customer. So in this section of this presentation, we are talking about the purchase orders, the simple and advanced views, creating purchase orders and purchase order lines, purchase order types, there are 6, sales order, simple and advanced views, sales order types, that you remember we had 6 types, purchase parameters, sales parameters, multiple delivery addresses on purchase order lines and sales order lines, delivery date control system, direct deliveries, direct deliveries. Yeah, okay. So now we move to the next section of our presentation, and this is the sales quotations. So objectives are define setup information for sales quotations, work with sales quotations, define various sales quotation functions. So issuing a quotation resembles issuing sales orders, so it's very similar with the sales orders. Most functionality found in the sales order form is also available in the quotation form. Quotations accepted by customer are converted to the sales orders. With the sales quotations, you can issue sales quotation to customers, update sales quotations, convert sales quotation to sales orders, create sales quotation templates, must create, update, and delete sales quotations, copy sales quotation, apply trade agreements, supplementary items, and miscellaneous charges to sales quotation, use enhanced delivery date features, view the bill of materials for sales quotation line items, and make updates to the bills of materials, apply multiple ships to addresses, include sales quotation items in master scheduling. Working with quotation. Creating sales quotation is very similar to creating a sales order. So first we create a header information about the quotation in the top half of the quotation form, and create the individual lines in the bottom half of the quotation form. You can find quotations form in the accounts receivable module. I'll go back into my Dynamics AX, and you can see the sales quotation form, and you can access it by clicking sales quotation. So as you can see, the form is very similar to our sales order form, and the principle is very similar to sales orders. So let's create a new sales quotation. So as you remember, to create a new record is Control-N. We'll create new button. So what I will do, I will select the business account. As this is a quotation, it operates on the prospects, competitors, and business accounts. So let's select account that I know is 5032, and it's here. So when I selected my business account, that is Light and Design, the automatic information about the customer account and delivery address and all other standard information that is attached to this customer is pulled to this quotation. But before that, so to make this information small, you have to attach the business accounts to the customer account. It will be discussed later in the session. So I check all information, requested receipt dates, requested ship date from my customer, and all other information, and click OK. Our quotation is created, and now I have to create the lines that will contain the items the customer is or our prospect wish to order. To create lines, I'm moving to the bottom screen or a window and create a new line and select the item L4 and save my record. So my quotation is created. So, and yes, quotations that can be created from the accounts receivable module, from the CRM module, and from the enterprise portal also. So, working with quotations, so each sales quotation has a quotation status. The quotation status does not refer to a particular quotation status setup table. The status values are fixed in the system. The status is changed by selecting an option from the Update button on the quotation form. The quotation statuses are as follows. So we can see the created, sent, confirmed, lost, and cancelled. Created. When the sales quotation is originally generated, the status is set to created. So if I will move to my Dynamics AX, I just created, if you remember, I created sales quotation, and the status changed to created. Status sent. The quotation option from the Update button sets the status to send. So if we'll go to the Update button and click the quotation option, the status will be updated to send. So you can see in the status field. The quotation option enables the user to print the quotation. So if we will click this quotation button, we will have the option to print. So let me demonstrate this. So I will click quotation and tick box the print quotation and click OK. So you can see the quotation document is printed on the screen, and we can print it and send it to our customer or prospect, and also the status is changed to send. Next status is confirmed. The confirmation option from the Update button converts the quotation to the sales order. The status is set to confirmed, and a sales order is created, and all values from the quotation are copied to the sales order. The confirmation date is inserted into the quotation, and the quotation is closed for editing. Sorry. I will show you the confirmation within next slide. Lost. The quotation lost option from the Update button sets the status to lost, and the quotation is closed for editing. Cancelled. The quotation cancelled option from the Update button sets the status to cancelled, and the quotation is closed for editing. Before converting a quotation to the sales order, manually convert the business relation to the customer using the convert to customer options in the function button. So before confirming the quotation, we have to attach the our business account or quotation to the customer account. So for example, if I will create a new quotation with the prospect account that doesn't have any customer accounts attached to it, and we'll click OK, then I can go to the Functions button and select Convert to Customer. Dynamics AX will ask me if I want to convert business relation to a customer. I will say yes, and Dynamics AX will automatically assign the customer account to our business relation and transfer all the information that is in the business account to our customer account. So I will create a new customer. As you can see, my new customer was created from the, and all the information from the business account was transferred to my new customer. I'll close the customer form and I will create the lines for my new quotation. And again, I will order item BR14. And we will see now how we will confirm the quotation. So, when we confirm a sales quotation, a sales order is created. All values from the sales quotation are copied to the sales order. A reference to the sales quotation is inserted in the sales order. The confirmation date is inserted in the sales quotation. The quotation status is set to confirmed. The sales quotation is closed for editing, and quotation confirmation journal record is created. So let's do the exercise. So we have the created quotation. We'll go to the updates. We can send the quotation to our customers, as I showed you before, or we can confirm it, or we can send the quotation and then confirm it. So, I will confirm my quotation. You need to select the reason for one. So we, for example, select that we had good quality of our product. I can print the confirmation of our quotation. So if I will click OK. So confirmation of our quotation was printed on the screen, or if you wish so, it could be printed on the printer. Close my confirmation, and you can see the status was changed to confirmed, and the sales quotation is closed now for the editing, so we can't change or add anything to our quotation. At the same time, if we will go to our sales orders form, you could see that the sales order was created from that quotation, and all information from the quotation was transferred to the sales order. So this is our customer account that we created, and the item number that was transferred from the quotation. Also, the quotation confirmation journal record is created and can be accessed using the following path. It's an account receivable or sales ledger, inquiries, journals, and quotation confirmation. So as you can see, this is our invoice account, customer, and quotation number 25, and quotation confirmation number is 1. So we have 25 is the quotation number ID, and -1 is a confirmation number. So this is the first quotation confirmation. Also, the details of the sales quotation can be viewed from the sales order form by using quotation confirmation option and the inquiries button. So if I will close the journal, highlight my sales order, and click the inquiries button on the sales order, and we can view the quotation confirmation. Close everything. We'll move to our PowerPoint. Lose a sales quotation. To set the status of a sales quotation to lost, select the quotation loss option from the updates button. So if I will go back to my quotations form, we have one quotation that is open. And if I will go to the updates, I can change the quotation to lost. When you select this button, the user is prompted to enter the reason that the sales quotation was lost. So the quotation status is then set to lost, and the quotation is closed for editing. So let's see, the price is too high, and okay, close. So quotation is lost and it's closed for the editing. So shall I repeat? It's quotation lost option from updates button. Enter the reason that the sales quotation was lost. Status set to lost, and quotation is closed for editing. There is another option, is the cancel the sales quotation. To set the status of sales quotation to cancel, again select the quotation cancel option from the update buttons, and the user is prompted to enter the reason that the sales quotation was cancelled. It's very similar for lost quotations. And the quotation status is then set to cancelled, and the quotation is closed for editing. So it's very similar with the lost quotations. Quotation templates. Quotation templates can be set up to facilitate the mass creation and modification of sales quotations. Your company may offer a holiday promotion that consists of 3 different offerings, each with different items to be quoted. To facilitate the offering, you can create a quotation template. So to create the quotation template, right, we need to go back to our quotation form and select the quotation. Rather, we'll create a new one. So let's create for my customer 5023. Oh, sorry, 5032. Enter. And click OK. So on the General tab of my quotation, you can specify the template group ID. The groups for the templates just used to group the templates, and you can set up group group template in the setup, and quotations and template groups. You can set up different groups to group the templates. So on the quotation form, you need to select the group ID, large installation for example, specify the template name, and tick box the activate the template. Only active templates can be used when you apply a template to a new sales quotation. Now we can create the lines for our sales quotation and save the quotation. So I'll create the line, enter the item number, and save my quotation. The sales quotation template must be created by using only header information, so that the template lines items do not create inventory transactions. Template groups cannot be deleted where access templates are associated with the group. To apply a template to a sales quotation, so we created, I'll activate it and save it. So to apply our current template to a new sales quotation, I will need to create a new quotation, select my customer, and in the template fill group, I have to select the group which was the large installation and the template name I want to apply. Also, we have to decide what method of calculation to use based on current values or based on template values. So let's have a look at the methods of calculations. The based on current values means that item prices are taken from the inventory. Based on template values means that all information that is not customer specific, such as dimensions and item prices, is taken from the template. If the template is a different currency than the customer account, the currency of the customer account will always be used. However, if you want to keep the currency from the template, change the currency on the newly created sales quotation. You will be prompted how to update currency exactly as in sales orders. So I will, based on template values, and I will click OK. So as you can see, my new sales quotation was created, and all the lines, everything was moved from the template as I selected based on template value. Working with quotation, a periodics. Oh, sorry. So periodic updates. The sales quotation can all be updated at the same time. The options for mass update are as follows. Quotation, all sales quotation can be printed at the same time. Confirmation, all the sales quotation can be confirmed at the same time. Quotation lost, all sales quotation can be lost at the same time. Quotation cancelled, all sales quotation can be cancelled at the same time. And mass creation quotation, all sales quotations can be created at the same time. Mass creating quotation requires that a template be used and that a contact person exists for the customer account. The first contact person is used for the customer account because the primary recipient for sales quotation cannot be specified. Print quotation. If sales quotation information changes, it can be reprinted by selecting the quotation option on the Update button on the quotation form. This not only lets you reprint the quotation, but creates a new quotation journal record also. For example, a customer requests a quote for 10 battery packs. The salesperson creates the sales quotation, prints it, and mails it to the customer. The printing of the sales quotation creates a quotation journal record with a quotation journal with ID of, for example, 100-1. So if you remember in our journal, if I will move back and move to the inquiries. Oh, sorry. Quotation update. Oh, sorry. It was in inquiries, journals, and quotation confirmation journal. So you can see the quotation number is 25-1. That means that we printed only one. After receiving the quotation, the customer contacts the salesperson and changes the quantity of battery packs, for example, from 10 to 50. The salesperson updates the sales quotation and reprints the quotation and mails it to the customer. The printing of this sales quotation creates another quotation journal record, but this one will have quotation journal ID of 25-1. -2, sorry. Deleting sales quotations. There are two methods of deleting a sales quotation. Delete sales quotation records one at a time by using the either delete record icon on the toolbar or Alt F9 on the keyboard. So the delete button is, I'll click from the journal back to my quotation form. And you can use this button, that is delete record button, or Alt F9 keys on your keyboard. The other method is delete sales quotation records in mass using the delete quotation form. So, and you can find it in accounts receivable, or sales ledger, periodic, and delete quotations function. So you can delete in mass. So you can select the quotations. Okay, this is a selected quotations, and if I will click OK, all these quotations will be deleted. I'll cancel this option. But now that only sales quotation with the status of created, confirmed, lost, and cancelled can be deleted. So various functions. First is copy from all. The copy from all feature is a time-saving feature as it prevents you from entering all sales quotation information from scratch. The copy from all feature lets you copy the whole quotation or specific pieces of different quotations. The copy from all feature copies the same information as in sales orders, but only from other sales quotations. The option is accessed from the Functions button, and you have Copy All button. Quotation lines can be copied from one or more sales quotations. So if I will click Copy from all, so I can select to copy from two of these quotations, or I can select to copy only the line. So if I will select one line from this quotation and another line from this quotation, and we'll click OK, you can see that these two items were copied to my current created quotation. Trade agreements and supplementary items. Trade agreements enable the setup of discounts and prices for sales quotation. Trade agreement options are as follows. Sales price. The customer receives special pricing for certain items. Line discount. The customer receives a discount of the quantity on a sales quotation line meets the minimum quantity required by the agreement. Multiple discounts. With this discount works the same as the line discount, with one difference. The customer receives a discount if the quantity on all the applicable lines in a sales quotation meets the minimum quantity required by the agreement. And total discount, the customer receives a discount on the whole quotation. The trade agreement functionality is accessed from the trade agreement button on the quotation form. So if I'll move, I have the trade agreement button form. Another option from the trade agreement button is supplementary sales items. This option displays the supplementary items that have been set up for items relative to the customer on the sales quotation. This functionality works the same as it does for the sales orders. Let's move for next various functions and enhance delivery date feature. Use the available dates button on the quotations form to view possible ship and receive dates calculated using the shipping, transport, and customer calendars. Select one set of dates and transfer them to the requested or confirmed ship and receive dates as required. This functionality works the same as it does for sales orders. So again, if I will go back to my quotation and click available dates, here I can select the available date and transfer it to my quotation, and it will be transferred. Miscellaneous charges. Use miscellaneous charges to add cost to a quotation or to specific items of a quotation. Miscellaneous charges could be used for freight or services. To add miscellaneous charges to the whole sales quotation, select the miscellaneous charges option from the setup button in the header section of the quotation form. So header, miscellaneous charges. In the setup button, miscellaneous charges for the whole quotation. To add miscellaneous charges to the quotation line item, select miscellaneous charges option from the setup button in the quotation line section of the quotation form. So if I want set up the miscellaneous charges only for the specific line in the quotation, I just highlight the line and select the miscellaneous charges from the bottom side of the screen. Miscellaneous charges will be copied upon quotation confirmation to the sales orders. Working with BOMs, use the bill of material calculation option on the calculation button of the quotation form to view the BOM for sales quotation line items and update the sales price. Show the effects of quantity change on costs. So I will show you where the calculation button, and we have the BOM bill of material calculation. As item is currently not bill of material, this function is great. The bill of material calculation option lets you select the options for configurable bill of material items and to recalculate the sales price for the item. It also lets you recalculate costs if raw material costs have increased but have not been updated in the system. The bill of material calculation can also be used to show the effect of quantity changes on the cost. For example, a customer requests the price of 1,000 widgets versus 10,000 widgets. Using the bill of material calculation functionality enables the salesperson to change the quantity and see the cost difference and margin difference based on manufacturing requirements. Within this information, the salesperson may decide to offer the customer a better price on the larger quantity. This functionality works in exactly the same way as it does for sales orders. Multiple ship-to addresses, so we continue our various functions. The delivery address for sales quotation and its line items defaults from the customer's address. However, the delivery address for the whole quotation can be set to one of the customer's alternative addresses. Alternatively, the delivery address can be designed by quotation line item. This allows for different items of the quotation to be shipped to different addresses of the customer. To designate an alternative address for the whole quotation, select the alternative address option from the setup button in the header of the quotation form. So I'll go back, and we have the setup button and the alternative address, and this alternative address will apply to the whole quotation. Or you can apply the alternative address for every line in the quotation, and it's exactly the same place. It's setup and alternative address, but for the line. Include quotation in master scheduling. To make sure that the items in sales quotation are in stock if quotation are won, select the Include Quotation option on the General tab of Master Plan form in Master Planning module. So if I will go to my Master Planning module, and in the Setup folder, Plans, Master Plan, I'll select my Master Plan, and on the General tab, if I will take the Include Quotation checkbox, the items, the quotation will be included in Master Planning. So at the end of this section, on the pages 95 of your manual, you can find the Test Your Knowledge questions, and on the page 97, the exercises for the current topic. So let's review our quotations, what we went through. So we talked about sales quotation setup, ability to create sales quotations, ability to update quotation status, ability to confirm sales quotations, lose sales quotations, cancel sales quotations, create quotation templates, must update sales quotations, print sales quotations, and delete sales quotations. So, and in this chapter, we were talking about various functions for working with sales quotations. Copy from all, trade agreements and supplementary items, enhanced delivery date features, miscellaneous charges, working with bill of materials, multiple ship to addresses, include quotations in the master scheduling. And conclusion is Microsoft Dynamics AX provides numerous tools for creating, modifying, and deleting sales quotations. Sales quotations are very similar to sales orders. So we finished for today our session, and thank you very much for your attention. And we have 15 minutes, and if you wish to, you can ask questions, and I will try to answer them. So I can't see any questions. I have questions in the queue. I'll go to the questions.
Margarita, do you see the questions from Roberta?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I have a question. Is during copy all trade agreements are recalculated in front of new business account? I don't really understand your question. If do you mean the copy from a quotation to the sales order, all the trade agreements are transferred from the quotation to the sales order, and sales orders are based not on the business account but on the customer account. So we have to create the customer account first, and then transfer the. And then this will be transferred automatically from the quotations. I'm not sure if I understood correctly your question. Do you have any more questions? I'm sorry, I probably misunderstood the question. So when you copy a quotation from a business account to another one, yes, if you will select the option when you're using templates or copy the one quotation to another, and during the copy, or sorry, template, you select the option based on template values. Everything from the template, current template, will be copied to the new quotation. Do you have any more questions? I don't know if I answer your question or not. So if you don't have any more questions, I think we will finish our session for today. Oh, I just have another question, sorry. I have a question: in which manual can we find the exercises? The sessions we covered today were the Chapter 1, 2 and 3 from Trade and Logistics 1 manual for the Dynamics AX version 4.0. I believe that the manuals were distributed to you before, or link will be sent to you where you can download the manuals and then do the exercises. Also, I would like to ask you to make your exercises before the next session and ask me questions, so I can spend maybe 15 minutes, half an hour before the next session and answer your questions.
Margarita, I'm not sure whether you would like to repeat your email address should they have any questions so they can contact you directly.
I think I posted it last time, and I think you can find on my webpage. I didn't post it currently, my email address, but I think on the link you can find my email address, isn't it?
Okay.
It's yes, my email address is m.mironova, MIRONOVA @curious. Curious is spelled QURIUS.com. So I can probably type. Oh, I didn't see. I didn't post it, unfortunately. I have another question. Quotation is managed by master plan in which status? Confirmed if settled. Now, when it's confirmed, the quotation is automatically sent to the sales orders, so they're counted by master plan anyway. But the quotation with the status created can be or quote with the status quotation could be managed by master plan as well, if the checkbox is selected in the parameters. If you remember the checkbox parameter in the parameters that we discussed earlier. So if you don't have any more questions for today, I would like to finish our session, and thank you for your attention, and hope to see you next week. Bye.